The thing is, you have people treating you like shit. You have people metaphorically knocking you upside your fucking head, but you don't even know it. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast, where we center the stories of Black women as we heal from the painful relationships with our mothers. Welcome back to the Black Mother Wound podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Arnice. Welcome back, my loves. I hope you all are having a great Tuesday or whatever day that you're listening to this episode. I cannot believe that it's damn near the end of the year. Vincent turns 18 this week, y'all. Can y'all believe that? If you have been rocking with me over the last, 8 to 10 years, then you have seen my baby grow. And I'm not saying I got mixed emotions about him turning 18, because in a way, it's almost like it's nothing, but then it's like, oh, he's a man now. Like the dynamics of our lives change because I hate to say this, but like if he get pulled over by the police, he don't have to call. He's not a minor anymore. So that has been a little stressful, but I'm holding it together. Of course, he don't care about, it don't even make him a difference being, if he was 16, 17 or 18, because y'all know he's laid back, cool cat. But we're planning some stuff for him. So I'm excited about that, to celebrate him and celebrate our journey. I don't know how I got to have an 18-year-old child. Okay. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing happening over here outside of the regular scheduled things that are always going on. So yes. So let's hop right in. Housekeeping announcements. All right. Resolve on Demand is live. If you're ready to start healing your Black mother wound, regaining your autonomy, changing your life, head over to resolvehealingintensive.com or click the link in the show notes or the show description. Okay. And also, I'm still out here begging y'all, okay? Because that's what it feels like, but that's just me because I'm learning to ask, okay? To leave a review on the podcast. I'm trying to get to 1,000 reviews, 1,000 written reviews on Apple, 1,000 5-star reviews on Spotify. My homegirl Misha let me know that you can't leave a comment on Spotify, but you can leave your star rating. So let's hop on that. Thanks, Boo, for letting me know. Okay. I think we're up to like 280 reviews now. And like I said, if we're doing 3,000 downloads a week, there's no reason for us not to have these reviews. So I appreciate you. It ain't got to be long, and you ain't got to leave your name or tell all your business. I know how you are. Just come in and tell the world how the podcast has helped you along the way. That's it. All right. Enough of that. What are we talking about today? We are talking about something that I don't think we really even know is a thing. Basically, almost like the Black mother wound and the things that we've been talking about over the last few years. It's like, oh, I thought that was normal. I didn't even think that was something. Guess what, boo? It's something. And today I want to talk about pain tolerance. When we are talking about this, usually we're talking about physical pain tolerance. And where I've heard it most recently is when we're talking about how Black women are treated in the healthcare system, and us having the belief that we have a higher physical pain tolerance, so we don't get the care that we need, which is absolutely true. We don't get the care we need because there's this assumption of our toughness, right? Which then leads to a higher mortality rate for us in several areas in healthcare. But today I want to talk about our emotional and even mental pain tolerance, and how, because of the way we were raised with an emotionally immature mother, and our life was based off of a lot of survival mechanics, especially emotional and mental survival mechanics, that it did indeed increase our tolerance for mistreatment, which created a higher pain tolerance for us. Okay. And I think when I've talked about being hyper independent in the past and not needing help and all of those things, all of that, those are trauma responses rooted in a high pain tolerance. And I really want to state it like that. And I don't want to say this like it's a compliment because like how, it's, oh, I'm a strong black woman. Like that's supposed to be a compliment. That's not a fucking compliment. Okay. Oh yeah, I can be strong all the time. Misogyny and the patriarchy has taught you that is a value. Of course, it's a value to somebody else because it supports them, but it's not a value to you, boo. Okay. Same thing with having a high tolerance for emotional and mental pain. But this is something that we've had to live with. So that's what I want to talk about today. Why we have it, how it impacts us, and what we can do about it. So lock in. So first of all, like I said, this is not a good thing. Everything that we survive doesn't need to be rewarded. It doesn't need to have a crown or a trophy. I don't want us to be trying to win the strong race. I don't want us to be trying to win the I can do it all by myself. I can get past everything race. Some of y'all, I don't know why y'all still here because y'all be having beef when I say this, but lots of times Christianity, okay, and westernized religion teaches us that we deserve this pain and that it proves something and also gives something to be rescued. Let's God and Jesus come save us. Hallelujah. Right? But really, this is a lot of bullshit. Okay. So let's get into it. Your high tolerance for pain was created out of survival. It's like, what else were you going to do unless you were going to fold? Right. And I think we all understand that. And when I talk about survival, when you're a child, not feeling seen, heard, appreciated, nurtured, cared for, not having someone being patient with you, not having someone show up for you when you need them, puts you in a state of survival, right? And from there, you get applauded for that. That's what reinforces it and lets you think like, oh, I'm winning, right? Because they're like, oh, she's such a good girl. She's so obedient. She does what she's told. I don't have a lot of back talk out of her. Yeah, she just goes in her room and she's quiet. She does whatever I tell her to do. And now we're looked at as someone who is welcomed in our mother's life. We are welcomed in the family. We are in the fold because we have been taught very early on to self-abandon ourselves and to blame ourselves. And when that happens in childhood, all we do is grow up. Y'all know biologically you're older, mentally and emotionally, you are still the age of your greatest traumas. Okay. So when you had to cower in a corner, right? When you had a pain or a distress and it was ignored, all of those things taught you that it's best for you just to suck it up and move on and to ignore your needs in order to de-escalate a situation, because we were usually the person taking on our mother's pain as well. And we had to learn how to de-escalate that so we could survive with her, right? It's so fucked up. And we end up, that's what we use to prove our worth with our mother and in our relationships when we grow up, how little we can have for ourselves and how much that we can carry on our backs. So what does high tolerance look like? A high emotional and mental pain tolerance look like? It looks like not asking for help and doing everything alone. Right. And I know y'all, this is like the number one thing y'all talk to me about. I don't need nobody. There's nobody there. I asked for help and I don't have anyone. That doesn't mean you're not supposed to ask for help. That means you're supposed to find a get right team and get down with them and find the people that are there for you. But first, you have to know how to do that. I know I've talked about that in a previous episode. Another thing, how high emotional and pain tolerance shows up in your life. And I think this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one, y'all. Staying in fucking relationships too long. Getting in the relationship, first of all, but that's okay. I'm going to give us that. But staying in romantic relationships and friend relationships too fucking long. Because what happens is all the things I was talking about that happen with our mothers happen in those relationships. Okay. I stayed with the man off and on for almost 15 years. And while he had his high points, his low points should have told me to get the fuck on. Right. But I believed that everything was my fault. Everything he said was my fault. I believed it was my fault. And so I spent my time trying to prove that I'm a good friend, that I'm a good girlfriend. I'm not going to ask for the things that I really want. I'm not going to speak up when I have an opinion that's different than his. I'm not going to create boundaries that support my own well-being. No, never that, because I'm more concerned with him. I'm not even realizing that I'm in pain. I don't even realize that my self-esteem, my sense of self-worth is being impacted. I don't realize that because I've judged being with someone and them having my back as how much money they have, how they're able to be there for me financially. And y'all don't get me wrong, I still love those things, but you cannot, what they say, you can't live on bread alone. What is that? I can't even remember the saying. I need both of them. That's basically, okay. But when we stay in these relationships too long, we are reliving the past and we're trying to fix the past through our present circumstance and situations. Same thing with being in friendships. I've been in friendships with people who I know I should have been out, but because of my high pain tolerance, it was normal to me. The relationship I was in, I didn't think anything was necessarily wrong, except for something being wrong with me. In those friendships, I had such a low bar. I didn't think anything was wrong, except for how I can be a better friend because it's all on me. Nothing is on them. Because again, I'm trying to prove my worth. Okay. By accepting subpar treatment from people. What else? Oh, gaslighting yourself. We're talking about how a high pain tolerance is showing up. Do you need to know, is this me? If you can answer yes to any of these, it's you, boo. But you're listening, so you already know that it's you. Gaslighting yourself, self-betrayal. These are all signs that you have a very high mental and emotional pain tolerance. Feeling drained and exhausted. You have beaten yourself up and you have allowed other people to beat you up. And you just think, I'm just tired. I'm just exhausted. No, you've been mentally and emotionally abused, ma'am. But you done got so tough on the outside and the inside that you can't even feel it. But your body is never going to lie. Your body's never going to lie to you. Distracting yourself with busyness and accomplishments and achievements. You can't even let yourself be relaxed. You can't stand to have spare time, nothing to do. You want to inflict more pain on yourself. That's the kicker with having a high tolerance for mental and emotional pain, is that you also going to inflict it on yourself. You're going to find a way to put yourself under the gun over and over again, right? Because you can't rest well in your own body. You're always trying to solve other people's problem. Again, that's a part of the busyness. That's a part of staying in relationships too long. You think that being a good friend, a good sister, a good daughter, a good relative means you have to deal with bullshit. These people, don't get me started on this one right here. If you didn't push them out your coochie, let them solve their own fucking problems. Okay? Because the same way they got problems, you got some. So you need to start minding your fucking business. That's just a side vent. That's just a little side piece I'm going to put y'all on too. You have very little grace or patience with yourself. Again, we're talking about ways that having an emotionally and mentally high pain tolerance shows up in your life. You are so hard on yourself. No patience with yourself. Whenever you make a mistake, you're the first person to cuss yourself out. Why didn't you do that? You should have done this. You're the best person to learn to love you, but instead you punish yourself. All right. Do any of these sound familiar? I feel like we should be in church right now because I need an amen. I need a tambourine or something because somebody is feeling what I'm saying. And you use pain as a motivator. You use it as something to get the job done. And I feel like this is also something that we're taught just culturally in society in a male dominated world where it's like strength. You got to be strong, push through the pain. The pain means you're winning. Not for us. That doesn't mean it for us. Okay. For us, we need tender. We need care. We need safety. We need somebody to wrap us in like 10 goose down blankets and rock us to sleep every night. That's how we can regulate our nervous systems and get back to really being productive in a healthy way. A lot of the stuff we're doing is not healthy because of our pain tolerance, our high pain tolerance. How do you lower your pain tolerance? What are the things that you need to do in order to make this shift? And this is something too, why you might be afraid to do these things. Because your whole identity, our whole identity is wrapped up in how our mother saw us and all the things that we did, and some still might be doing in order to be in her good graces. It's like an addiction. This thirst for love from someone who never had any intention on loving us the way we need. They don't have the ability to love us the way we really need. They're not willing to learn to love us in the ways that we really need. And we have taken that on as our burden. And it's like, who would I be if I didn't if I didn't protect myself? Because having this high pain tolerance is also something that you're using to protect yourself. It's like, if I keep this guard up, if I treat myself this way, then no one else can hurt me. No one else can come up on my blind spot and take anything from me. And that breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my heart for you, and it breaks my heart for me because I know what that fear is like. And that's why I talk so much about safety. That's why it's not even at this point, me talking about all the other levels of autonomy are great, but the safety is the part that y'all really have got to get to. Okay. It's like the glue that holds the healing together, because when you feel safe, you're not worried about what someone else can say or do. And you think you're protecting yourself and you're keeping yourself safe, but really you're the villain in your own life because of how you're treating yourself. You need to be protected from yourself. And I know it feels like it's a catch-22, but just trust me. Everything I'm about to talk about is really about creating safety within yourself, creating a relationship with yourself where you can exhale, because you need to know the thing is, you have people treating you like shit. You have people metaphorically knocking you upside your fucking head, but you don't even know it. You don't even realize it. You think that you're protecting yourself from people hurting you. No, you have just numbed yourself to the effects of the bullshit that's going on in and around your life. But because you have a high pain tolerance, you don't know it. Let me go on the microphone. You don't realize it. So That's why I'm trying to get you, if you could just get over the hump of that, right? So how do we lower our mental and emotional pain tolerance? Physical pain tolerance too. You can throw physical pain tolerance in there. I don't specifically talk a lot about physical abuse and physical mistreatment because that's not my story, but they all go together. Okay. So if you need to pull that into this fold, please do so. So how do we learn to lower our pain tolerance? The number one thing we have to be able to do is start to be still with our emotions, because what has happened is we've become numb. And when big feelings come, difficult feelings come, we rush past them, right? We minimize them. So you learning how to come into your own body, you know what I'm talking about, being in the present moment and giving yourself permission to feel. And there's an episode where I specifically talk about how you process your emotions. Stop denying what is going on inside of you, right? This is so huge because you don't even know you don't even know you're in pain. You don't even know that it's hurting. And if you do know, you're saying, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Bullshit, right? So what I need you to do is first be someone who can notice those big emotions without shutting down. And then I want you to stop applauding how much you can take. I want you to stop looking at it like it's a good thing. I want you to go through your life and see where it's hard. And I want you to say, is this healthy for me? Be honest. Is this healthy for me? Is this actually making me better, or is this making me bitter? Is it making me numb? And I don't care what the end goal is. Like, well, I'm going to have my degree at the end. Well, I'm going to have a husband at the end. Well, I'm going to have this at the end. And then what? Then what? Right? What is it that you really need and what you really want? Which also takes me to how you pay attention to your physical body. I talk about this when we talk about dealing with shame, the way that we deny ourselves. What do I talk about? Eating, drinking, sleeping, using the bathroom. The ways that we neglect ourselves in this area also are caused by a high pain tolerance. My body can do without. I can punish me right now. And we all want to be like Beyonce, who I love, and how, there's this clip where she talks about when I'm working and I'm in the studio, I'm there all night. I don't eat. I don't sleep. I don't ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. And we think that's our story. Beyonce has a team of people watching her, caring for her, preparing food for her. She has a loving mother. Don't go out there and think, oh, I'm going to be like that. If I do all these things, I'm going to be like, Beyonce don't drive. Beyonce don't cook. Beyonce don't make her own bed, do her own laundry, drive her kids to school and pick them up. Beyonce is not worried about bills being paid and things like that. So don't fall for the trap of them trying to make you feel like this is what it takes to be successful in life, denying yourself. That's not our story. That's when you've been through what we've been through, they're not talking about us. Okay. So you can remove yourself from that conversation. Start setting boundaries and asking for help. Y'all know I'm always talking about asking for help. How you build community, how you build self-trust, how you build safety is by knowing how to maneuver in your interpersonal relationships, whether they be romantic or they be platonic or familial. Okay. Knowing how to say, oh, I need this. Can you help me? And it's okay if a motherfucker says no, because then that's who you learn to realize can't be there for you. And you need to know who can be there for you and who can't. You need to be setting better boundaries. These are things that you think will make people not love you or like you. If you think that, they don't love you or like you anyway. Okay, so just hold on to that. What else? Oh, this one, grieve. We are holding ourselves to this standard of strength because we don't want to feel the pain of loss. We don't want to feel the rejection and abandonment from our mothers. We don't want to know that debilitating pain, because it feels like once it starts, it's never going to stop. It's always going to be there, and we'll do anything to avoid that. And you cannot avoid that, ma'am. If you're doing everything else I've said, but you're not willing to grieve the love of the mother that you never had, you're not going to get anywhere. This is core baseline. So you allowing yourself to feel the pain, it centers you. It lets you know, oh, I am alive. This is a part of it. Because if you don't feel the bad emotions, the heavy, the hard emotions, there's no way you are able to feel the high emotions, the good emotions, the light ones. You have to own all of them, and you have the power to do that. It will not take you out. Y'all know I talk about that. It's not going to kill you. It might feel like it, but it's really not going to kill you. Okay. This is, I think, something that's really prevalent that we don't think about, having a high pain tolerance, because it has also in some ways worked in our favor. We've used it as a fuel to get jobs, to get education, to build better credit, to buy homes, to move across the world, to take chances, to be able to muster through very difficult and challenging experiences because we have a high pain tolerance. But you can't be a soft girl with a high pain tolerance. It doesn't mean that you can't protect yourself. It doesn't mean that people not going to have you fucked up. It doesn't mean that you let shit slide, because I'm not letting shit slide. And I'm able to do both. I'm able to be tender. I'm able to be soft. I'm able to be myself. And I'm also able to let somebody know I'm not here to be played with. Just not going to happen. And I don't even have to get mad about it. I don't have to get defensive about it. I don't have to rah and go through a whole bunch of commotion. I don't have to do it. And the message still gets across. So please take this under consideration. Okay? Take it under consideration. I love you all deeply. Take care of yourselves. I will see you next week. Don't let anybody play in your fucking face, especially you. Go leave a review after this episode is over if you have found it useful or helpful. And check out resolvehealingintensive.com. Click the link for Resolve on Demand to start healing your mother wound today. I'll see you next week. Bye.